to Raiders game day, everyone, and the Raiders walk away week one with a loss, not what they expected in the Josh McDaniels era. They lose the game to the Chargers, so they start out 0-1 in the AFC West. I'm Amber Theoharis, along with former Raiders Eric Allen and also James Jones with me today. So, look, there's some positives here. And one of them was that with a little over 4 minutes left, we see Davante Adams' very first touchdown as a Raider, and that puts them in a position to actually be close within 5 points to come back. Weren't able to do it, but the fight that we saw, was that encouraging, James Jones?
Absolutely, and the most encouraging thing is this is week one. Right? We got a lot of football left to play in this thing. It's week one, but the way they got started, Davante Adams, Derek Carr connection, we knew it was going to happen, but we still needed to see it, and we got a chance to see that today. Obviously, you know, a couple throws got away from Derek Carr, but Davante Adams and Derek Carr is right where they need to be early and often in this season, and you could tell it's going to be trouble for a lot of people.
And it's always exciting going to our home away from home.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dominate the stadium.
They were deep. They were deep today.
They were deep today. Again, defensively, got to get a little bit better, right? All phases today, just an opportunity for us to kind of see where we are. No preseason. This kind of first run for many of us. So, again, tough loss, but, again, this is something to kind of build upon.
Yeah, there were a lot of good points, and coming up here on the show, we're going to have full game highlights for you, player and coach interviews. We'll hear from Derek Carr. We'll hear from Coach McDaniels, and also James Jones and Eric Allen are going to give us our offensive and defensive spotlights. And we'll look ahead to Monday Night Football, a homecoming for Russell Wilson as the Broncos head to Seattle to take on the Seahawks. So we'll have our Monday Night Pick'ems coming up. But let's get right to the highlights of this game. Raiders and Chargers. Derek Carr, first game with Davante Adams. 1st and 10. Carr hits Adams early.
Yeah, nice little whip route. Get Davante involved in this game early, get him going.
Outside the pocket, making some plays.
Another first down, 20 yards.
Whenever he gets outside the pocket, DA, good things happen.
All right, there are other receivers, and Mack Hollins is one of them.
See you, Mac.
16 yards and a first down. He's tough to bring down.
Let him know. Let him know.
That was excellent protection by that O-line, giving Derek Carr plenty of time to deliver that rock right there.
They were down 0-3 to begin, and now they have a tied game at the end of the first drive of the first quarter. Here we go, quarter two, 1st and 10, and Herbert.
Oh, man.
He's open.
Outside the pocket, Herbert making plays. And this guy is such an incredible receiver.
Yeah, Herbert did that a couple times, got outside the pocket a couple times and was able to find his receivers right here scrambling. We all know we do not like this call
Come on
right
now.
here.
Come on, you didn't know he was going down. You can't stop full force, can you?
I'm not trying to hurt him.
Excessive roughness penalty.
Yeah.
I'm an offensive player, but we make it so hard on the defensive players
sliding
nowadays.
late. Oh, it's sliding so late.
And it's not helmet to helmet. He's trying to stay off him. I mean, the man got a helmet and shoulder pads on.
So 3rd and goal, and Herbert.
In every other league, this is called a pick play. And a pick play is illegal.
It is illegal if the ref got their eyes on it. Chargers get lucky right here. Ref did see it.
Okay, so the Chargers are up 3rd and 1. Eckler runs the ball there. Stopped on 4th down. So 4th and 1 now.
Yeah.
That's what Brandon Staley goes. He goes from the quarterback sneak. Doesn't work.
Look at Mad Max jumping over that foul right there.
That was a great job.
Maxx Crosby says, I know what you do, Brandon. And I'm going to stop you.
I've watched some film.
I've watched some film. I'm going to stop you on 1st down. So here we go.
That was a big, that was a
heck of a play.
Right there.
Great job. Tried to hurry up, but Max knew it right away. Great job by the interior defense also getting the push.
Okay,
it just seemed like every time the Raiders got a little bit momentum.
57 seconds left in the half. Carr, underthrown.
Yeah.
Something like this happened.
That's a difficult spot right there because you have your tight end over the middle, have a great chance there to make a big play. Linebacker gets a good drop and gets the interception.
All right, Chargers ball on the ensuing drive, 2nd and 2. Herbert looking for DeAndre Carter. He gets the touchdown, and the Chargers lead 17-3 going into the second half.
Defense can't play it no better than that. That is a strike. There is nothing you can do about that right there.
There's a strike.
That's a strike to 1-7 DA, and we know what he's going to do with the ball in his hands after the catch.
I hope they show the actual route. Oh, they did. Oh, man. No. He lost it.
That was a 40-yard game, but 3rd and 5 to Brandon Bolden. That's that man from New England.
That's
Josh
right.
McDaniels brought him over, and so the Raiders pull to within 7 on that touchdown, 17-10
I mean, and look
Chargers.
at the throw, though. I mean, that's touch. That's finger rollish right there. Dropping it in the basket, touchdown.
All right, so now the Chargers have their chance to answer. And
Good
that
coverage. Good coverage. Just a better throw.
I'm telling you, it was about 4 or 5 throws in this game Justin Herbert made where we all shook our heads.
Hey.
But this fella right here had us shaking our heads too. Josh Jacobs, let him know. Give me the rock, first down, field goal, good.
That leads to this. And so now 55 yards out, Carlson makes it, and it's 24-13. The Raiders are down 11 as we go now to the fourth quarter.
Raise them up.
Raiders are in it. 1st and 10 from the 44. And he's looking. There you go.
Yeah, Waller again just coming off that signing that new contract, making it happen.
Excellent play call. Oh, there we go.
There we go. Stopping the run. Stopping the run. Divine Diablo, young fella, getting it done. Playing some Mike linebacker.
Met him right in the middle.
Derek Carr
Hunter, 3rd and
gets it over to
Renfro.
Hunter Renfro.
3rd and Renfro.
3rd and Renfro.
Keep the chains going.
Keep it moving.
Excellent protection again. Every time the O-line gave DC some protection, he was able to deliver the rock.
Yeah, it's another outstanding throw and catch.
Timer, man.
Yeah.
So these are the adjustments we're talking about. They came out in the second half.
So important. So important making those adjustments come out in the second half, really attacking the middle of the football field.
All right, he steps up and
Get out of there,
gets
DC.
taken down.
Yeah. Get out of there,
And that's where
DC.
it gets crazy.
O-line did their best. They held up at
Yeah.
times, but hey, you going against 2 all-pro football players. Eventually, Khalil Mack, Bosa, eventually they are going to get home. But give credit to this O-line. They battled their tails off all game long. Carr had some clean pockets, but Mack and Bosa made some plays when they needed
they
it.
did. They did. Yeah.
They did, but they were in it at the very end, as we saw, and some big plays there with Darren Waller, also with Davante Adams. But let's talk about Davante Adams. I mean, early on, EA, we saw that connection right in the first quarter. Didn't run the ball a lot, but that's because it was working, that connection.
And again, we're talking about this in the green room. When you have a receiver, the quality of Davante Adams, maybe the #1 receiver in the world, you got to find a way to kind of get him going. You understand the relationship between those two, and it was going to happen. No one can really cover him one-on-one. It's just a matter of getting the proper play, getting the proper design, and you saw what happened pretty much the most of the day. I think he had 17 targets, 10 catches. I mean, he was cooking today.
And you know, like your mama say, mama, there go that man. And that's that man. I mean, I don't know why people are surprised. I'm surprised he didn't have 20-plus targets in this game. You come in, first game, playing with your best friend from Fresno State, you already knew that DA was going to get this ball early and often, and Derek Carr was looking for him. But not only that, it was working. These 2 dudes went to work today.
Yeah, for
I mean,
sure.
you talk about 10 catches, 141 yards, and a tink-tink. That's what we call them. A tink-tink, a touchdown. That's big time. If they can do this week in and week out, I mean, good luck to whoever's game planning for these 2.
And you know he's going to be able to do that. And it didn't matter really who was covering him. Safety, corner, linebacker, double. He was always able to find room enough for DC to kind of get a clear window for him. So congratulations again. And this is the most important thing, the red zone efficiency down here, particularly when you have someone like Davante Adams as a DB. You're going to see this on film, and eventually this is going to open everyone else up too. If you have guys who can really get open on the goal line and red zone and put yourself in those situations, it's just going to help everyone else.
And that's money down right there. And, you know, if I was next to the Chargers defensive coordinator right now, I'd slap him in the back of the head, because what you doing with man-to-man coverage on Davante Adams in the red zone? Y'all better learn. That's where the ball going. But this connection right here, they going to have it clicking all season long. It's going to be fun to watch.
His debut made history. Davante Adams, the second most receiving yards for the first game with the Raiders ever in history, only second to Art Powell.
Who's from San Diego.
Back in the 60s. Oh, you had to point that out. You had to get a little SoCal.
You know I'm always giving love
But
to
look,
San Diego
hey,
guys.
619.
That's right.
Randy Moss didn't even have that kind of debut.
No.
Randy Moss didn't even have that kind of debut. But let's take a look at some of the final statistics from the game presented by Sports Water. And if you look at what Justin Herbert was able to do, very good game for him on the one side. For the Raiders, on the other side, didn't run the ball a lot. 64 rushing yards. That's what stands out to me. Now, the positive, The run defense for the Raiders was there, 76 yards. If you told me they held Austin Eckler total to 72 yards, total yards from scrimmage.
That's significant.
I'll take that.
Yeah, if this run defense is going to continue to play at that level, I think we have really an opportunity to really get after the quarterback at times. And again, I know you're going to talk about those rushing numbers.
and it's one number that's not up here, and that's the turnover margin. Because I'm looking at these numbers right here. If the Raiders can play like they played today and not turn the football over, they are going to win a lot of football games. If the defense plays like they played today, they are going to win a lot of football games. Stopping the run, as long as you don't turn it over, they're going to be in a lot of these games.
Defense had some big stops on 3rd down and 4th down. And after the game, we're joined now by Maxx Crosby live from Los Angeles. And Max, I know it's not the result that you guys wanted, but the life that you guys showed at the end of the game, to be able to get so close and to try to turn the momentum around, are there things to build from now?
Yeah, absolutely. We were hurting ourselves. We were doing everything to, let them get ahead, and we weren't doing enough to stop the run early. And we just got some things to clean up for sure. But I feel like the second half we came out, we played super hard, and we made some good adjustments. But it's a part of the game. We got to learn from it, watch the film, and get better. So we're looking forward to the challenge.
Hey, Max, EA, man, thanks for joining us. Always a difficult task, week 1 against those Chargers. But again, talk to us a little bit about that halftime adjustments on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, they're a really good team. You got to give them, a ton of credit. They came out and they played well, and they made a few more plays than us and got the win. So, they got a lot of talent. We just got to, be better, in every phase. I feel like we weren't at our best, but I feel like the second half we came out with a better mindset, and we came to win the game, and we fell a little bit short, but we'll definitely be back.
Max, a quick question. Is there anything that surprised you? I know it's a division game. It's really not a lot of surprises when you come to these division games, but was it something that the Chargers did on the offensive side was kind of like a new wrinkle or something that they may have brought at you guys during this game?
I got to watch the film, but, yeah, they did a lot of boots, a lot of things on early downs to try to get us get them in like short, 3rd down type of situations. So to try to, limit our pass rush. So, I feel like they did a good job, but, that's a part of the game. Week 1, you don't know really what to expect. But I feel like we played hard and, we got better as the game went on. So, it's a loss, but, it gives us more motivation for next week. And we just got to get in the film room and get back on the practice field and keep improving.
How important, though, is it when you have those big momentum-changing moments to capitalize off of them?
Yeah, it's huge. I feel like every game it comes down to like 5 or 6 big plays. And whoever makes, the majority of those big plays ends up winning the game. So for us, we made some in the second half, but we fell a little bit short. And that's just part of this business. We just got to keep getting better and just looking forward to improving. We got to watch the film. That's the first thing we got to do, and then, learn from our mistakes.
It's week 1. We look forward to seeing you guys back out there next week. Have safe travels back to Las Vegas. Good to talk with you, Max.
Absolutely. I appreciate you guys.
Thanks. So we did see some big plays on offense, but they didn't come after the big plays on defense that handed them back the ball. Unfortunately, the turnovers on offense and some of the sacks happened in the ensuing drive where the Raiders get the ball back right after Maxx Crosby and company made some big plays. So that's what the timing needs to be better.
Yeah, exactly. And then when you talk about the turnover ratio, we can't lose the turnover ratio 3-0 and then have 6 sacks against us, and we don't have none. I doubt that's going to be the plan going forward for this football team. I'm pretty sure we're going to put a lot of pressure on the quarterback and get some turnovers in the back end. But there's a lot to be happy about with this football team. Only lost by 5 points with all those terrible numbers.
Things to build on. And what does Derek Carr have to say about all of it? He says, hey, maybe I'll be a little less aggressive. Is that a good idea? We'll hear from him next, coming up. Raiders Game Day is brought to you by America First Credit Union, the official credit union of the Las Vegas Raiders. Allegiant, the official airline of the Las Vegas Raiders. Low fares, non-stop flights. Book now only at Allegiant.com. Cox, proud partner of the Las Vegas Raiders. Coors Light, an official beer of Raider Nation, made to chill.
Finally getting an opportunity to play a game with my bullets and everything else with Davante. How did you feel that your guys' connection was?
Yeah, I mean, we did. I mean, we did some good things. We hit on a lot of things, and there's also some things that him and I we were just talking about in the locker room. The way I see it, the way he sees it, and we're trying to make that better too. So yeah, I mean, we had production, but I think that we can be better, you know, and so does he. And but it's exciting to get out there and play with him and have him in the mix of, you know, Hunter and Darren and Mac and all in the backs and all those guys. So having him out there, it wasn't, you know, I mean, first play I go right to him, you know, and it wasn't like some big celebration, you know. It was just like, all right, well, next time, you know, next one. You know, I've thrown him thousands of footballs in my life, and so it's exciting to play with him. But he'll tell you, like, we just want to win, and so we'll turn the film on, and I'll be better about making too aggressive decisions when I don't have to. You know, that's really what it came down to, is me forcing the ball to my guys, and in moments where I didn't need to.
Targets and how to run for. There weren't that many early on in the game. Something they were doing, something that you are aware of during the game that they're doing a good job of him, or what was going on with that?
To be honest, you know, certain coverages based on certain looks, you know, the ball would go there, or the ball would go to Tay, or the ball would go to Darren, and I think we're going to see that throughout the season. You know, it could be the same question maybe next week about Davante or Darren, or I think that when you have so many guys. It's hard for them all to have 10 catches, you know, or, you know, 15 targets. You know, that's a lot of footballs being thrown to only them. So I think that's something that coach and those guys will deal with throughout the season, you know. And I'm just going to do my best to read them out and make sure that, you know, like the one I forced to Darren down the middle, Hunter ran a great route, you know, but it was a short route. I'm trying to, you know, go down the field and things like that. I could have easily gave it to him there. You know, that's another one. But I think that'll be a thing that we'll see, you know, throughout the year.
What did you see from your defense today? Your defense kind of gave you guys a chance to stay.
Absolutely. What I saw was what I saw during camp is a good football team. You know, they're good defense, a good rush. They do a good job of, you know, playing together. You know, on defense, you got to know where your help is. You got to know all those things. And they did a good job. And you know, at the end of the day, they ended up beating us, like I said. But are there signs that we're going to be a good football team? Yeah, absolutely. You know, we're not. There's no panic mode. I've been out there where it's hard. You know, I've been out there where it's hard to get a first down. It's hard to stop somebody, and that's one of the best teams in the league. And it didn't feel like it was so hard to where we couldn't accomplish something, right? It definitely wasn't easy, but it wasn't like a miserable chance, you know, to try something. So I saw that from the defense, saw that from our guys.
Welcome back to Raiders Game Day. So Derek Carr there putting the perspective of the 24-19 loss into, I think, good words. He's looking to build off of what he saw out there. But when he says, I'll make some not so aggressive decisions, is that a good thing? Because when you have Davante Adams, you can kind of afford to be aggressive, right?
Yeah, for sure. You can with Davante. But again, I think when it comes down to it, accountability, that's what we're talking about here. And he's great at that, right? He's the leader of this football team. He takes accountability for his play today. He's definitely going to be a much better player from here on out.
All right, well, to talk more about the offense, especially one man that got it going in the second half, Josh Jacobs. We turn it over to JJ. What'd you see in the offensive spotlight from Josh Jacobs?
I appreciate that, Amber. And y'all talked about y'all talked about Davante Adams and what he did and how special he is. If you could get Davante Adams and get this guy the ball I'm about to talk about, Josh Jacobs, roll the tape. I want to show y'all something, Raider Nation, about Josh Jacobs right now. Fresh legs, coming downhill, wants that contract. But this right here is tough, hard-nosed running. That's 8 yards right there, right? Then you come back. You see him back there circled. You come back, hand it off again. That's 8, 10 more yards, 20 more yards right there by Josh Jacobs. You see him put the first down symbol up. If you can keep getting him the ball. And then this right here is when I really knew he was ready and back, because this is making something out of nothing. He should have been tackled in the backfield. That's 8 yards later, a burst down the sideline, and then let him touch it in the passing game. If you get the ball in the young fella's hands, he is going to make hay. If you could get Josh Jacobs going with Renfro, with D.A., with Waller, ain't no defense stopping the Raiders. Back to you, Amber.
All right, well, one of the reasons the defense can stop Raiders going forward is there's a lot of them to throw to, and They spread it out. They definitely spread it out today. Derek Carr has talked about how many receivers that he has and how many options he has, and we saw that. Hunter Renfrow, what was interesting about him is he had 6 targets, but we didn't see him targeted until 5 minutes left in the third quarter. So 6 targets is great. We just need to see him a little earlier in the game, I think. But Brandon Bolden, we saw him with the touchdown, and then Darren Waller, just such a big part of this offense as a tight end. And Waller quietly had over 70 yards receiving.
For sure.
And he had some big plays, more importantly.
Situational players, right?
Yes.
That's kind of what the theme of this offense is, situational players. So if you're a 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3, that's Hunter Renfrow time, right? So again, early in the game, it's just the disparity of the passes are not really the problem. It's just when you're throwing those throws to those particular players. So again, you want to go a DA early, right? But then if you have a one-on-one matchup with Waller, man, you got to take that, right? Because no one can cover him one-on-one. And then if it's 3rd and short, what you want to do? You want to go to Hunter, right? So it's just, you just have to mix kind of the
gumbo.
Disbursement.
Gotta mix the gumbo up.
Throws up a little bit.
And I want Hunter, because I know Hunter gonna watch the show. I want Hunter to just relax. The balls are gonna come your way. Today was one of those days where these 2 college teammates got together, and as DC's in the huddle, he looked over like this, and he seen Davante looking at him. He said, I'm going to try to get my guy the ball. That's just what the ball will come to Hunter. And this is really Hunter's first time of really playing with a true number 1 wide receiver. You're going to game plan to get Davante Adams the ball, and then Hunter Renfrow, Darren Waller, all those guys will get their opportunities through the offense once you try to start playing them one-on-one and things like that. But Davante's the baddest man on the planet. You're going to try to get him the ball, but those other guys need to understand the ball's going to come my way too. Yeah. And when it does, make some play.
They just needed their little catch-up reunion. Like when you see a friend that you haven't seen, you got to spend a minute talking to him and nobody else. But he'll start talking to Hunter Renfrow. And of course, in Josh McDaniels' offense as the slot receiver, always eats. So that's encouraging for Hunter Renfrow. And we can't forget about Matt Collins. That's going to be a nice little addition, nice little mix, right?
Yeah, for sure. It has to be, right?
Yeah.
Kind of
he showed that he can be effective.
Yeah.
He's going to be the one that's going to see the number 2 corner, the number 3 corner all season long with man-to-man coverage. So he should eat. I thought about buckling my cleats up.
Come on.
Play me one-on-one.
You got a little bit excited about that. All right, coming up next on Raiders Game Day, we take a deeper look at the defense as Eric Allen will show us what Maxx Crosby and them did right. Welcome back to Raiders Game Day. And so the Raiders leave week 1. They're leaving Los Angeles with a loss, 24-19 to the Chargers. But some good points on defense. They had some big 3rd and 4th down stops. Also, the Chargers expected to be one of the best teams in the AFC. And as Derek Carr said, you know, we didn't feel like it was so hard. We were right there. They had a chance to win at the very end. But defensively, they need those game-changing moments. Is that a fair assessment?
They do, especially when the offense is turning the ball over the way they were today. You know, you need your defense to get you 1 or 2 of those. The defense did really good, got a stop, got off the field on 4th down when they tried to go for it. But I was looking for one of those big sacks, those big takeaways from this defense. But what I did love is for none of the starters to play, they tackled really well. You cannot turn on the tape and see the Raiders missing too many tackles on defense. And usually early in the season, a lot of those missed tackles happen. And the Raiders tackled really well today. But Mad Max got to get going. Chandler Jones got to get going. And they will. They 2 of the best in the business. They'll get after the quarterback. They was this close today. But
we'll hear Chandler's name.
Absolutely.
We'll hear it a lot more often than we did today. But to talk more about the defensive performance today, we turn it over to EA for the defensive spotlight. What's happening?
Hey, what's up, Raider Nation? I tell you what, these defensive linemen, they're going to get after. They're going to be okay. And it's not always about the sacks. But a quarterback like this, you got to keep him contained. Got to keep him inside the pocket, not allow him to extend those plays. Right here, we're going to show you an example of why I don't want to let this guy outside the pocket. Let's roll the tape here. As you can see, Max is probably in the neutral zone too. Doesn't matter. You're got to get upfield. You can't allow the quarterback to get outside the pocket and extend his play like this. We know Max is going to give great effort here, but I don't want to be in that position, giving that quarterback all that time outside the pocket where that receiver can work down the field on our zone. So here, again, once again, we want to make sure we get upfield to bring that quarterback, make him step up inside the pocket and not allow him to extend that play to find that receiver, although it's pretty good coverage. But again, Justin Herbert outside the pocket pretty dangerous, so we don't. This is what we want to do right here. We want to keep him inside the pocket where he only has that opportunity to check it down, and then we come up and make a great play and get off the football field. So going forward, Raider Nation, we really need to be aware of keeping those mobile quarterbacks inside the pocket, not allowing them outside to extend the play, because we're going to see Russell Wilson, we're going to see Mahomes, we're going to see all those outstanding quarterbacks. Very important to keep them contained, keep them inside the pocket, and then those sacks and big-time plays will come to happen. Back to you guys. That's what it's about.
There it is.
There it is, and that sums up the game. That is a big difference. When you lose the turnover battle, what happens, JJ?
Lose the game.
Exactly, and so the Raiders turned the ball over 3 times. We're not able to force a turnover. Did get after Justin Herbert a little bit, 3 quarterback pressures, but look how many times the Chargers were able to get after Derek Carr. 9 times quarterback pressures, 6 sacks. And to be fair, we were complimenting the offensive line at points throughout the game. This is a new offensive line, the right side of the line in particular, and the pass protection was pretty good a lot of the times. Derek had a lot of time. The 6 sacks, I know it looks bad, and they have to improve upon that, but on the other, there is another side to that story.
There is, because there was pretty good coverage downfield. And all those corners want to say cover sacks. When the defensive linemen get the sacks, you raise your hand. That was a cover sack. I thought the secondary of the Chargers played pretty good. They did a pretty good job of covering up guys, made it very difficult for DC to be able to find receivers down the football field. That's one of the examples that will give you 4 or 5, 6 sacks a day. But again, that stat will never be like that again. I guarantee it. I think the Raiders up front are going to have some of those big days where they're sacking the quarterback 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, and for me, it's all about the eyeball test, too. You can easily get caught up in the stats and all that and see 6 sacks and all that. But the eyeball test tells me those shot plays down the football field and Derek Carr maybe holding it a second too long, maybe when he could have got outside the pocket and delivered a pass. The O-line held up really good. You're playing against Bosa and Khalil Mack. It ain't no offensive line that's going to hold up against them all day. Eventually, they are going to get home. I thought our offensive line from an eyeball test today played really well. And once we get Josh Jacobs going in that running game, they'll even play better. And Derek Carr, watch the film, get the ball out of his hands. They'll be fine the rest of the season. I think they're on the right path.
Josh Jacobs with 5.7 yards per carry, but even more per touch. He had about 6.2 per touch. So
nice.
That's pretty good stat there to build on. Now, one of the positive points of the defense, the secondary was reformed over the offseason, and Nate Hobbs was a guy that you kept looking at.
Man, say his name again.
The one consistent, right, from last year to this year is this young man's play inside and outside. Look at that. Tackle for a loss.
Man.
This is a cornerback, right? Playing nickel, playing outside, very versatile. You love his impact on the game. He blends well with what this new defense is about. It's about versatility. He can play all over the field, and look at that. Great emotion. And guys, last year this guy was a 5th-round draft choice. One of the top young cornerbacks in the National Football League, making plays in the middle of the football field, whether it's tackling, pass coverage. You love the fact that he's in a long line of outstanding defensive backs for the Raiders.
Yeah. I'm standing next to one. But for me, he's going to go from 5th round to Pro Bowl if he keep playing like that. I mean, coming up making tackles like that on 3rd and 3, if the Chargers get that, the ball game could be possibly over if they go down there and score right there. That's another big-time play by him. He came up all game long from the start, making plays. People going to start running away from him and throwing away from him if he keep playing like this.
There you go.
All right, well, what does Josh McDaniels have to say about all of this? This was his first time as a head coach in over 11 years. We're going to hear from the head coach coming up next, right here on Raiders Game Day. This segment has been brought to you by Twitch. Watch, discover, join in. Welcome back to Raiders Game Day. And so the Raiders leave Los Angeles. They lose 24-19 to the Chargers in Week 1. This was the first game for Coach Josh McDaniels since coming over from the Patriots, a place where he won 3 Super Bowls as an offensive coordinator. He had a chance to talk with the media after the game, and the press conference is brought to you by Yamava.
Parcel with that, I would imagine.
Yeah, that's, you know, I mean, it doesn't matter what type of turnovers they are. You know, you're just giving the other team other extra opportunities to do something with the ball. So, you know, we're going to have to look at each one of them and, you know, we'll evaluate them. I thought they made a few good plays on the ball, obviously, but, you know, before you can win, you got to figure out how to not lose the game. And that starts with turnovers and not giving up big plays. And, you know, and so obviously we're going to need to go back to work and fix some of that.
Is it more frustrating or hopeful that in spite of that, you had the ball going down there maybe to win a game?
Yeah, no, look, it's opening day. There's a lot that goes on, and I appreciate the fight that our team showed and the grit that we had. You know, you fall behind by a couple scores, and then you have the ball in the fourth quarter with a chance to win. So that's the National Football League, though. You know, you that's what you're expected to do. But I thought our team fought hard and tried to make it a game and put themselves in a position to win, which we did. And we just again, they made a few more plays at the end than we did.
Offensive line, there was a flux, a lot of rotations. Was that by design?
Yeah.
Or is there any message going on there?
Yeah, no. There's 7 guys that deserve the opportunity. That's it. You know, have earned the opportunity to do it. And honestly, I think, you know, I know what the ultimate sack number was. I thought we did a decent job in many ways of just, you know, giving ourselves a chance to get the ball out on time. And then, you know, when we ended up having to hold the ball, some of that was based on the coverage. You know, I thought they did a good job, changed up a lot of different things in the secondary, forced us to hold the ball a little bit on a few things that, you know, you're blocking good rushers and, you know, you have to hold the ball a little bit. Sometimes it's going to happen. But I thought our guys fought. Those 7 guys went in there and competed hard. We knew they were going to play coming into the game. And, again, like I said, there's a lot to learn from. We'll see how they did.
Coach, what do you say about the defense, specifically getting off the field on third down, and Nate Hobbs specifically, his job getting stopped?
Yeah, I thought, you know, we kind of gave up some loose plays in the first half, and then, you know, they capitalized on the turnover there at the end of the second quarter. But I thought our defense really, you know, made a few adjustments at halftime. We did as a team, really, and came back out there and really competed, you know, and tried to play some tight coverage on third down. And there was some, you know, some bang plays in there, and Nate got his hands on a few balls. But, you know, again, our team fought, you know what I mean, and made some good plays, just not enough of them.
Josh, I know things are moving fast down there, but did you get any clarity on the unnecessary roughness by Nate Hobbs?
I mean, you know, those are tough ones. You know, I don't think there was anything egregious, you know, on our part in terms of what Nate was trying to do. I think he was just going to tackle the guy. You know, and if the runner has committed to the slide, then we got to try to do everything we can to pull off of him as a tackler. I didn't think anybody was, you know, trying to do something to hurt anybody there. But, you know, I think that's a common, difficult situation that a lot of defenders find themselves in.
So Raiders Nation should be encouraged, I think, by what we saw from Josh McDaniels, because the one thing you look for in a new coach is how does a team play in the second half after struggling in the first half? That team went into that locker room and came out and made a game of it, had a chance to win, lost by just 5 points to expected to be one of the best teams in the AFC. What did you see? What adjustments did you see, EA, that you liked?
That's why Josh gets paid the big bucks. You know, those adjustments at halftime, very important, very crucial. If you can go in at halftime, make some adjustments, and just not speak about it, but you know what? Make sure that those adjustments you make, like run the football a little bit more, taking advantage of those linebackers creeping up after you have some success running the football, hitting them in the middle of the football field a bit. Formation adjustments we saw coming out after halftime. So I'm really, really positive and confident that Josh continue this trend of being able to adjust at halftime and make the right calls.
And we got to understand, too, though, that this is Josh McDaniels' first game.
Yeah.
You know, I know he's been an offensive coordinator and won 3 Super Bowls, but this is your first game with this personnel, with these guys that you've been in training camp with. This is your first outing with them. So just like players go through their ups and downs and they working through their crinks, getting ready, so is Josh. I'm a little league coach. I come out of games like, man, I didn't call none of them plays that I drew up to call. It just happens. You get caught up in the moment. So I loved what he did after halftime. I do think we need to run the ball a little bit more, but Josh will be fine. He'll watch this film. The Raiders will come back out and they'll adjust and make some plays.
All right, and so the Raiders start off the season 0-1. When we come back on Raiders Game Day, more on Davante Adams and Josh Jacobs. This segment has been brought to you by America First Credit Union, the official credit union of the Las Vegas Raiders.
In the second half, it seems like you guys had a little bit more success running the football. Was there anything that changed or adjusted in the second half?
Nah, not really. I feel like the first half we didn't really have the ball too much. Second half we kind of got a chance to sink in and play ball a little bit more. So I think that was just the mindset behind that.
And with just the amount of runs in general, you guys didn't run it too often. Was that just either a factor of playing from behind or just the game plan in general?
I think it was a combination of the two. One thing that I do know that we're going to play however we feel is best for that week. So one week we might run the ball a lot, the next week we might throw the ball a lot. And I feel like every guy on this team has bought into that. So however it played out is just how it played out.
And as offense, I mean, you guys had a few turnovers, maybe some plays, like you said, maybe that play where you could have scored, and then still,
still in the game, yeah.
So before we got a chance to go win it, how do you view that? Is it frustrating or encouraging?
It's definitely both. It's definitely both. I say it's frustrating because you're this close, and in this league, 3 to 4 plays change the whole dynamic of the game. But I'm just happy that the guys, going through all that adversity that we went through and still being in a position to win the game. I think that just speaks volumes and testaments to the type of team that we have.
And that's a great point that Josh Jacobs makes, that you turn the ball over 3 times and you're still in the game with a little over 2 minutes to go, still score a touchdown, 4 minutes and 36 seconds to pull to within 5. So that's a good sign. But for Josh Jacobs, he was able to, he rushed the ball 10 times. I'm sure he'd like to see that a little bit more. Everybody would. But 5.7 yards per carry. We saw how dangerous he can be, especially with that stiff arm.
Josh had it going right here. I just love the burst and the angriness he running with right now. Every run he got, you seen him running, explosive, hitting the hole, running with violence. Like, that's the Josh, the Pro Bowl Josh that we are used to. And I feel like as a coach, when you see him running like that and you got a good little vibe of your football team, I would have kept handing it off to Josh Jacobs or finding ways to get the ball in his hands.
Man, Josh is a gifted runner. I just love the fact that he's just so elusive, he's powerful, he's a combination of all these great running backs that we've seen. And then also, you love his ability to be in the passing game here. As you see, I think he could be a dynamite player, and it's great to have him healthy. And again, it's about the 10 touches, way too, you got to get him 15 touches, right? A game for him, and he needs to be involved. And it seems like he hasn't lost that hunger to be a leader on this football team. Just because you don't have that contract doesn't mean you can't be a leader. And the game can be run through Josh Jacobs. He can win you some football games. I just love his spark, love his energy, and he's just a great, gifted runner.
And what happens? You're a defender. You know what happens when you establish that run. The linebackers come up, and all of a sudden, who goes downfield?
Yeah, and now they're calling, hey, we're gonna play cover 0 now because we can't handle the run. We're gonna play cover 1 now because we can't handle the run. You're like, man, this is about the 4th row calling the roll. We've played cover 0, and so it really puts a lot of stress on your secondary when you're having a successful run.
When they're running the ball, got to put extra people in that box and say, EA, now you got to make your money. Man.
Josh Jacobs, one of the more versatile backs in the league. We saw him have that 116-yard catch as well, so I'm sure we'll see more of him coming up. As next up, the Raiders are going to take on the Cardinals in Week 2. When we come back, more from the Raiders' loss to the Chargers here in Week 1. This segment has been brought to you by Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of the Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders Game Day has been brought to you by Twitch. Watch, discover, join in. Credit One Bank, the official credit card of the Raiders. Modelo, a taste that's pure gold, brewed for those with a fighting spirit.
You said that you didn't really know exactly what to expect coming into this game, but were you surprised, like, he went to you on the first play and you were such a big part of the offense, so many targets so early on from the start. Were you surprised by that much volume in your your game for this one?
No, not at all. That's what they brought me here for, to be a big part of this offense and help move the ball and put points on the board. So that's my job. That's what I'm ready to do. I'm a volume type guy, so I'm always ready for that. And if the game goes any other type of way, then we'll adjust and we'll deal with that too. But that means that somebody else is probably handling their business and we're able to move the ball. So most important part is for this offense and team to do well, obviously. But if I'm a big part of it on any given week, I'm expecting that.
Talk about that first play. A lot kind of coming in, like to make sure not make sure, but like get the first play out of the way and get it to you right away.
Yeah, we didn't talk too much about it, but that's kind of what this camp has been like. Just giving me opportunities to go out there, get in space, and make some plays. So just got to capitalize on as many of them as possible.
One thing we learned from this game, even though it was a loss, was that the Raiders have big play ability with Davante Adams, who had a huge game. And you pointed this out, EA, that 2 of the 3 interceptions that Derek Carr threw could have been touchdowns. And so you're 1 second, 1 little minute away there.
It's about efficiency and making sure. But again, the great receivers, they're going to get off early in the game, right? When I used to cover Jerry Rice, when he was with the 49ers, between the first 3 or 4 passes, he's probably going to get all 3 of them, right? And everybody else is going to have to eat afterwards. You got to get that established, okay? This is what we're going to establish. We're going to establish that he's unstoppable. You're going to have to figure out a way to cover him, right? So then I can see what the defense is trying to do. Then I can react to that and bring other guys into the fold. But get used to this. This is going to be like this every first half, first series. These 2 are going to hook up.
My biggest thing is, we know how special DA is. I want to know the reporter who asked a question saying, did you get the ball too much? Is that too much? I don't know one receiver that's going to say, nah, I ain't want it that much. We always want the ball. We built for this type stuff, man. And he, like I say, he probably wanted a little more.
He handled it very well. And we're going to see a lot more of Davante Adams coming up in the next 4 games for the Raiders. They're back at it in week 2, taking on the Arizona Cardinals. They're going to open up here at Allegiant Stadium at home. And then the Tennessee Titans, they travel to take on the Titans, who lost today. And the Denver Broncos, another AFC West game. That'll be at home. And then they travel to Kansas City in week 5 to take on the Kansas City Chiefs, who had a big win today. But for the Broncos are the Monday Night Football game this week, and it is a reunion. Russell Wilson heading back to take on his old Seattle Seahawks in Seattle. The NFL's not stupid. They plan these things. They plan these things a certain way.
They know.
And so it is going to be a heck of a game. And so I'm going to tell you who I have. I'm taking the Denver Broncos. I think it is not hard to figure out who I'm going to take in that one. Who do you like, James?
Man, we on the game day show for the Raiders. But the only time I'm going against Russell Wilson is when they play the silver and black. I'm taking the Broncos in this one as well.
All right, so we're going to make it a clean sweep here because I'm going to be the champion. I'm going to be the champ at the end of the season. So obviously I'm going to go with the Broncos. It's the only time I can't stand the Broncos.
Man,
you go up there and play. It's the thin air. You can't breathe. It's a terrible place to play football.
I'm just interested to see what they look like with Russell Wilson. They had a good defense last year. Offensive line had some questions, but they needed a quarterback, and now they have a quarterback, a good running game, and a young Javonte Williams.
I hope he balls out for them.
Melvin Gordon. We'll see what happens. But coming up here on Raiders TV Monday, it is the Raiders press conference live, and then Wednesday, coach and quarterback press conferences. Thursday, Upon Further Review podcast. That was with Maxx Crosby. And then, JJ, you know what show you got to watch.
Let's go.
Friday.
Let's go.
We're going to be back for the Silver and Black show as we preview the matchup with the Cardinals. But, hey, you guys, it's been fun. You can watch all of our amazing shows on Raiders.com and also Raiders YouTube. So the Raiders lose this one to the Chargers. They're 0-1 to start the season, but they'll be back week 2 against the Cardinals. We'll see you guys there. Good night, everybody.